Checking. Is this microphone working? I think it is. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Is that better? Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. I think we're okay. Everything seems to be quite stable. Good morning. How are you all? I hope you're good. I do. I didn't have time to make up a pre-stream thing, so I hope, I truly hope that you're okay. Apologies for last night's collapse of the tube of you into the world of the stream that we had. Yeah, it was a bit frustrating, but I think, you know, being present in Instagram and having that as a backup all the time is very good. It's pretty positive to do that and to have that, which is excellent. I am just heading into the YouTube studio control room to make sure, go to live control room. Yes, we want to go to live control room, because that's probably the best place to actually go and monitor the stream. No, I don't want to do any of that. Why are you doing that? I don't want to make up a new stream. Duh. I just want to be able to monitor the chat and the stream at the same time. Yeah, that'll do. We're on something similar. Yeah. Okay. So we're just doing a quick good morning. I want to thank everybody for joining me last night. Oh, it's that morning alarm where a young lady wakes up and goes, alarm. Good morning, Alia. Good morning, Alia. Morning. Oh, we shamey wamey. Let me get to sitting back. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't have time to create a pre-stream or anything like that for this, and apologies. I got up and I just changed a few things because I stayed up chatting with the kids for a while last night. It was nice. So I thought what we'll do is we will just have a wee bit of a hangout and go through some of the papers for today, and then it gives me the opportunity to get the house fixed. I never did any of the housework last night after birthday treat, so we're going to get that done, and then back on tonight but in the process switching the computer off, and hopefully we will not have what's it called, an overheating processor. If the stream suddenly drops for any reason, okay, I'll be back on later this afternoon testing it again, but everything seems to be okay just now. Fingers crossed. I hope it doesn't go crazy or anything like that, you know. Anyway, right, let me move my camera a little bit, because I need to do that to do the papers. I'll move it to here, and then I'll bring in the papers. Ching. Right, okay, and let's check the chit chat as well at the same time. Right, cool. Right, if you're watching, you know, feel free to say hello. I do like to interact. Let me just type in good morning. Hope you are having a great Thursday. Excellent. Right, good. Right, so I've already made my coffee. I'm not looking out the weather window. I don't want to put too much stress on the processor so it overheats. But let's have a quick look. Oh dear, big yawn. Big yawn. Right, good. And we'll leave you there so I can also monitor the chit chat chiroo. We've got every window set up properly. So happy. Right, good. So the eye leads today with Minister on Ropes and Tory Donor Row. I actually thought that said, it is Donor Row. Have they spelled that wrong? Is Donor got two N's? I don't think so. Maybe I thought they were talking about kebabs. Whitehall papers reveal that Housing Secretary was insistent 1 billion property development must be approved before Richard Desmond was hit with an extra tax bill of up to 50 million. Wow. Oh my word, you corrupt bunch of wankers. Ooh. That is outrageous. So the blurb at the bottom says, alongside the sunny weather, several of Thursday's front pages report on Housing Secretary Robert Jenrick contacting the businessman behind the controversial planning application while preparing to decide whether to approve it. The Eye says Mr. Jenrick, who denies wrongdoing, is on the ropes after he released texts sent between him and the Tory donor Richard Desmond. Politics and business. You gotta love that shit. You know, somebody said that there's no morals in business. No, you're absolutely right. There's no morals in business. There's morals in humanity. There's morals in being a human being. Otherwise, you're just an asshole. Okay, let's just face it. There's also ethics in business. You know, are morals and ethics different? Well, no. Ethics is like pieces of paper that tell you how you behave, and morals are your behaviours in choosing whether or not you're going to follow ethics. And if you don't follow ethics in certain companies, well, and in certain countries, you could end up in jail. So to say that there's no morals in business is nonsense. And that isn't business anyway that this boy's doing. That there is straight up corruption. What can I say? The Times, pressure mounts on minister. Yep, same sort of thing. Holiday hunter triggers 50% surge in foreign bookings. That's great. Okay, the Times says Mr. Jenrick is under mounting pressure after text messages and emails reveal his close relationship with Mr. Desmond, whose 1 billion housing scheme was approved against the advice of his own officials. That is wowish. And the Daily Fail, look at that. Human tide swamps the beach one day after PM's plea for sense. But you know what? People are going to do that. I think that's a stock picture anyway. I really do. Southend on Sea in Essex yesterday. I think anybody sitting there like that in this day and age, I mean, nah, these people are all not assholes. Come on. It has to be a stock picture. You know, and then of course we've still got the bit down here. The dossier of private messages showing Jenrick rushed through home plans that would save tycoon Tory donor a fortune. A fortune, £50 million in tax. Wow. Cozy texts that damn the ministers is the Daily Mail's take. The paper says, despite the damning revelations, the Prime Minister backed his minister, and well, it's not like Boris to back one of his controversial people. On the weather, it says a human tide swamped the beaches just one day after Boris' plea for sense. The Guardian, Jenrick under pressure to quit. Oh man, listen, I'm getting exasperated. The exasperation is exasperating. What do you do when you've got politicians that are like this? They don't give a shit. They just put their own agenda forward. It is exceptionally like Animal Farm. Some animals are equal, but all animals are equal, and some animals are more equal than others. Let's face it. Okay, let's face it, big time. That is the case here, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't just say sack people. The guidelines for ministers to do such things are so grey. It's incredible, and then it goes straight back to that, and there's no morals in business. Now, I get why you want to save your buddy a bit of money. I totally understand that, and I would totally want to do the same thing. But not if I was in government. If there's rules and things that have to be followed, you need to follow them. You need to be able to turn around and do the correct thing, not the right thing, the correct thing. And at the time, it was probably that grey area of being, I can save you this if I approve this now, instead of going through the proper channels, you're going to save 50 million because, like, in a couple of weeks' time, there's new legislation coming into place. £50 million is a lot of money. If it was like a couple of hundred, that might be different. But 50 million is a chunk of change, and that's a bit on the disgusting side to see people actually doing that. It's quite disturbing. But there's no morals in business. Bullshit. There's ethics and there's consequences every time. Right, okay, where are we? Here we go. So, also leading on Mr. Jenrick, The Guardian reports that the texts and documents were released on Wednesday after the Housing Secretary was accused by critics of potentially breaking the ministerial code. Oh, there's a code that he broke. Crazy. This is definitely a stock picture, as I've seen the same picture somewhere else. Lockdown weary Brits hit the beach on hottest day so far. King of Spain urges us to take holidays in his country. Yeah, I firmly believe that is a stock picture. The Daily Mirror leads on the hot weather, saying lockdown weary Brits headed for packed beaches, alongside a photo of Durdle Door in Dorset. The paper also reports that the King of Spain has invited Britons to holidays in his country as the Spanish resorts open up. I never knew that Spain had a king. I'll be honest with you, I never knew that at all, and which is kind of crazy. No, I can't actually imagine. You don't hear about them very often. We should Google that. I'm going to do that. Who is the King of Spain? Who is the King of Spain? Felipe the Sixth of Spain. He's got a cool beard. He has. Look, check him out. There he is. Felipe the Sixth, or Philip the Sixth, Spanish Felipe, born 30th of January 1968. He's only 3 years older than me, and he's the King of Spain. Wow. He ascended to the throne on the 19th of June 2014 upon the abdication of his father, Juan Carlos. His mother is Queen Sofia. Yeah, you know, I actually heard of Queen Sofia. And he has 2 older sisters. And that's good. And here, look, I'll bring up Queen Sofia. That's her there. Amazing. Okay. Let's see if we can find anything else. Nah. Right, here we go. Next paper. 15-minute burn alert after the hottest day of the year. The Great British Bake Off. That's a great picture. It's a bit comedic, but wow. To see a slightly portly, allegedly British gentleman after being baked in the sun on a backdrop of a beach, it kind of is inspiring me to get out there and friggin' exercise. Let's just face it. You know, would you want to be like that? Good morning, Morgan. How are you? Everything seems to be good. The stream seems to be stable. All the lights are green, and I have a bag of ice inside another bag right beside the airflow intake of the computer, so it's drawing in actual colder air, which is a good thing. But I won't be able to get a new fan for a few weeks. I've got more important things I need to pay for, unfortunately, which is crazy. But thank you for popping in. We're just doing a very sort of little break, a little morning stream, which is good. I hate this picture that we're looking at, though, with a passion. I think it's awful. Nah, I need to move on. Let's read what it says. The Great British Bake Off puns, the Daily Star, aside a man looking miffed, that's a great British word, miffed at his extreme sunburn. Sun lovers could roast to a crisp in 15 minutes due to exceptionally high UV levels. Yeah, it was pretty roasty toasty yesterday. It was good fun. Right, okay, here we go. What is all this then? Daily Telegraph. It's schools to scrap social distancing. Wow. Well, yes, that's what we want, isn't it? You know, that's what we want. I heard a story yesterday. I was speaking to my dad yesterday on my birthday. Hold on. That is alarm number 2 for daughter to wake up. Good morning again, Alia. You're going to fall off. There you go. Good girl. The story that I heard was my dad was visiting my other brother for Father's Day, and my other brother Ross, his girlfriend works in the NHS, and the NHS are actually preparing up here in Scotland as well for a second, in Scotland particularly, a second more hard-hitting wave of COVID during the flu season, which is kind of scary. But the upside is that they're preparing for it, which is good. It's better to be prepared and not need it than be unprepared and totally need it. It's that condom phrase. Rather have one, not need to use it, than need to use one and not have one. You know? I think that's probably the best analogy ever. Let's quick look across in the chat. Using fat people for a joke headline, genius. Yeah, totally. It's I think, let's go back to that picture. It's frightening, you know. It's the Daily Star for you. They're controversial at the best of times, Morgan, and they're a bit of a joke when it comes to that. They've had a couple of good headlines since I started this particular show, but nah, it gives off the wrong image if this is an average British person, and they're not. I mean, some people are overweight, some people are underweight, just like in any country, I mean, have I put a little bit of weight on during lockdown? Yeah, of course I am. I'm not walking like 20 kilometres a day around my job. Have I been allowed to go out and exercise? No, I've not. Will I be doing more now that I'm allowed to? Yes, I will. I'm thinking about once the children head back to their mums this afternoon, taking the bike for a bit of an 8-miler. 16-miler. It's 8 miles there, 8 miles back. But yeah, it's one of those things. I like this picture in the Daily Telegraph. I think this picture in the Telegraph is quite good. I don't believe that this is a stock picture. This looks less stocky than the other ones. But I do think that people on the beaches doing this are a bunch of dicks. 100%. You can imagine a little Covid Chronicles, the Covid sort of people, the virus sort of going, yes, look, we've got a highway into everybody's homes on these beaches, and it just, if you could sort of like have a camera filter that showed the spread of Covid, you would see it as a wave of like one person. It's like, I don't know if you've seen or read World War Z. There's a scene in that where somebody gets bitten and it just starts to go through. It's the same in that one with Mila Jovovich, the zombie ones, when somebody gets the virus and you just see it spreading through a crowd of people. You could imagine COVID-19 just spreading through that, which is crazy. Good morning, Nyla, how are you? Thank you for popping in. I just want to say I had a really good time hanging out with you guys last night in a very informal capacity. It was nice just to relax at the end of what was probably one of my most favourite birthdays. Resident Evil, thank you, Morgan. It was a great day yesterday and a great evening, and it was a pity that the stream didn't hold up with the old computer, but we're going to treat it like an old car. Even though it's not an old car, I'm touching the top of it. I can feel the heat coming off the processor. Yep, what's that? You want a YouTube modship? You're top of my list, Morgan. When we reach the capacity of, we're almost there. We're at 209 people. My next milestone for moderation is 220. I kind of set myself that goal a while back. I thought that I needed an experienced person like Nyla to keep me right. Okay, I needed a technically minded person like Barry to keep tech and the web page type stuff all going. And then I'll do a bit of the creative stuff. Barry is a creative genius in his own right, and I love that man. And Nyla just, she keeps me focused. She's a good girl, a really good girl, and a very, very good community manager. Your values are right on par with mine, Nyla. They really, really are. And you're a strong woman. And I admire you and respect you greatly for that, which is good. But no, we're hit 209. When we hit 220, Morgan, you will get moderatorship on this. And oh, Barry's on. As soon as I sent a little compliment there, he decides to perk up his little ears. Hey, morning, Barry. How are you? No, I unlike there's communities that I notice around the place, where people say, "Ah, you guys are great. You're wonderful," and blah blah blah. You know, from other people's streams that I've watched. But I really mean it, because we grow very slowly. We're not like we don't have a niche, you know, where people will come to us for advice on technical stuff, on cooking, on whatever, you know. Incidentally, oh, hold on, let me get it. I need to bring up my camera to show you this. Hold on a second. Let me just get this out of the way. This little baby is a powered USB hub, okay, which will connect 3, 4, 5 devices, but all I needed to do is what's it called, is 4 for my 3 cameras and my microphone into the kitchen. And guess what I'm going to be doing today once the kids go back after I've had a cycle? I am going to experiment with this and see how I can set it up to be able to do live cooking in the kitchen again. Because I did it through my laptop before and it was a wee bit slow and stuff. But if I do it through the cameras, I can control the scenes through Stream Deck with my phone. And this will have the power to power the cameras directly, and then that cable will take it back to the computer. Amazing. It will be good. So we'll be experimenting with that and hopefully be doing some live cooking soon enough again. Yeah, but that's kind of the niche that I was wanting to be in before, was the live cooking scene, because there's not that much live cooking, I've noticed, and if there is, it's kind of massive studio based sort of, I've got people chopping shit up for me sort of thing. But that's just the way that it is. All the devices, yes. Cyberpunk 2077 has been pushed back again. Yeah, my son was telling me, he's like, but do you know what, Dad? I'd rather it be a perfect game than have things that are proper wrong with it, you know. And I went, yep, that makes perfect sense. Which is good. He's right, you know. He's right without a doubt. Let's build a game that's gonna wow the nation, wow the world, but let's make it good. Let's make sure the bugs are all ironed out of it straight away. But yeah, so going back to what I was saying, we grow slowly, but with a good bunch of loyal people that come to the show, and I would rather have that than 100,000 people that don't interact. And I like personally interacting with you guys, you know. I really am. I do. And I would rather have 5 or 6 people watching the show. I don't even know how many people are watching this just now. 4 people according to YouTube. I would rather have 4 or 5 people watching for the hour and a bit that I'm on, so I can talk to you by name, than 100 people where I neglect 90% of them because I can't go through the whole set of names. But that will probably happen eventually, and I don't know what I'll do. Will I become overwhelmed with the amount of people watching? I don't think so. Will I remain particularly loyal to the people that have supported me through it all? Absolutely, without a doubt. That's the way that it goes. Let's have a look. Detroit. Oh yeah, Barry's been playing Detroit. He's been telling me about that. Right, let's crack on with the papers anyway. Schools to scrap social distancing. Let's see what the blurb says about this one. Okay. While the Daily Telegraph dedicates most of its top fold to a picture of rammed Bournemouth Beach. Its main story is about social distancing in schools in England. It says next week the government will announce that social distancing will not apply in schools and bubbles will be expanded to enable all pupils to return to classes in September. We've just had announced yesterday that schools in Scotland are wanting to, the way things are going, and as long as they remain the same, we should have all the kids back full time in August, which is great. They need to be back. They really, really, really need to be back. They break up for the holidays tomorrow. You know, it's a crazy, crazy time for them all. Poor souls. Poor souls. Daily Express. Wow, 91 degrees Fahrenheit, so hot and so much for social distancing. Yep. Exclusive PM's ambitious blueprint for radical reforms to modernise the nation. I think, look at that. I don't know if any of my American brethren are familiar with a character, an entertainer called Benny Hill. Okay, he was a bit of a tongue-in-cheek farce comic sketch show person with scantily dressed women and things. I think that picture there of Boris Johnson looks so Benny Hillish. And where I couldn't take him seriously before, I really can't take him. He's lost, that's it, all credibility's gone. The Boris Revolution to shake up Britain. Nah. Okay, the Daily Express says Mr. Johnson will unveil the ambitious and radical plans for rebuilding Britain in the coming weeks. Quoting Tory insiders, it says the Prime Minister will make a major speech promising to build as he sets out proposals for boosting the struggling economy. That's good. I hope that it's something that can... that's a great picture. I hope it's something that's positive and achievable and maintainable and has ethics. Right, that is a fantastic picture on the metro. The hottest day of 2020. The sun reaches yet another scorcher with temperatures expected to hit 34 today. Wow. I'm going to be sitting in the garden with factor 50 on. That's going to happen. Screw going out on the bike. I'm going to get a tan. PM making it up as he is going along. Making it up as he's going along. Yeah, that's a great headline. Making it up as he goes along. Yeah, Metro wins the headline competition today. The Metro. Sorry, that's tickled me. Ah, dear. Okay. Let's have a quick... Oh, Nilo, you know who Benny Hill is. Did it hit America? That is so funny. Yep, I'm going to come back and talk about Cyberpunk in a minute, by the way, Morgan, because I want to ask a couple of questions of it in a second. Right, let's sorry, I'm still looking at this. PM makes it up as he goes along. What does it say? PM making it up as he goes along puns the Metro, as it says the Prime Minister was accused of not knowing his facts on the coronavirus track and trace as he clashed with the Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer. The Prime Minister's questions on Wednesday. Hold on, it's too small a writing for me to read that. I'm going to go and have a look at that. I'm going to look at the videos as well, because that there would be... I'd like to see, I like seeing Boris acting the big man. My name is Boris Johnson. I'm the big man on the block. I look a bit like Benny Hill, but I have a fantastic haircut. Yes. And I'm a bigger than life pantomime character that takes nothing seriously. And I during this crisis I got a big fright, and there's rumours going around that I didn't have the coronavirus. Well, I did, and Mummy says that I did. And look, this app thing, okay, we're going to do stuff with Apple, because Apple are fantastic and all the rest of it. Hold on, let me just check. Apple says that they know nothing about us coming to work with them, and hold on, it's the same with everybody else as well. We're just making it up as we go along. Yes. What a dick. Kevin and Perry. Oh my god, yes. That is who I said to Paxton years ago, Morgan, right? I introduced him to Kevin and Perry when he was like a loving little 8-year-old boy, and he was like, oh no, it's Dad, he can't do no wrong, I'm never going to be a moody teenager. So I showed him a couple of Kevin's tantrums, and it says, if you ever do that as a teenager, I'm just going to start calling you Kevin. And I've done it a good couple of times, and he snaps out of it straight away. It's so funny. It's great. It's so very funny. Yeah, Kevin and Perry was amazing. Ant and Dec tried it, but it didn't work out. Yeah, Ant and Dec are completely niche Britain. You know, they're just really, just not the thing. You are not my fellow DJ. Yes, that was a great movie. It was superb. I liked Kevin on the show that the guy that played him did. There we go. Financial Times. Okay, Brussels willing to compromise on level playing field trade talks. Oh, really? The Financial Times leads on Brussels saying it's willing to compromise with Britain on level playing field rules for business. As Brexit talks continue, the rules aim to ensure close alignment between the two sides' state aid, environmental and employment regulation. The paper says the move is a sign of how positions are shifting ahead of intensive EU-UK future relationships starting next week. Oh, so do you think that they're going to, the EU will cave over Little Britain or Little England? This is something that I need to keep my finger on the pulse of. I'll be very disappointed in Europe if they turn around and do that. Very disappointed. Right, that is the end of the papers. So yeah, let me turn around and thank you guys again for hanging out with me last night. I had a jolly good time telling you some of the highlights of the past 50 years for me. There's many more, but I did do the top 10. I had them written down to go through, but couldn't get onto it, so we had to wing it for them all. But we are okay with it all. We are okay. Right, so Cyberpunk 2077. The history of it was a tabletop type role-playing game, like one of these book-based ones like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. Did you ever play that, Morgan? Did you ever actually play that particular game? You know, I really hope that you did, because it's something that I really enjoyed. I played it about 4 or 5 times and I thought it was really good, but it was like, if role-playing games like that, your open book type fantasy role-playing games are a niche, I felt that Cyberpunk was a niche within a niche, because it was really quite, like, it's like one of those ones where you turn around and you know, it was complex. It wasn't as simple. Now, role-playing games as a whole, alright, our Jason is one of the Great Britain's greatest storytellers for Vampire the Masquerade, and we have 2 channels in our Discord that are set up for this that we've not done anything with yet, and I've talked with Jason about what we want to do. One of them is like an in-character sort of cafe bar type environment where you can interact, and it's not like an actual game per se, but you can go in with your Vampire the Masquerade character and roleplay in character conversations with other people. There is also a channel for Jason to actually deliver proper games, and we actually have as well, Barry has set up a 10-sided dice. I think that's working, Barry. I hope it is, where we can use a 10-sided dice in Discord to roll for particular aspects of things going on. And I would like it's more of a maybe more of a winter thing rather than sort of like a summer thing, for people to do it. But I'm going to encourage Jason. He's got ideas of what he wants to do. I've said to him, I said, look, make sure that it's nice and simple, not too complicated for people coming into this, because again, Vampire the Masquerade is kind of like a niche within a niche. But I would like to see that go ahead. Let's have a quick look. You've played Dungeons and Dragons at the moment with your partners and a close group of friends. D&D's great. I actually, way back in the day when I was like 9 years old, 11, 9, how old was I? 10 years old. 10 years old, living in Florida. I got my very first edition box set of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Obviously I don't have it anymore, but that was my first ever RPG, and I adored it. Absolutely adored it. Came back to Britain and found a whole bunch of mates that used to play it, and one of them had a huge drawing room with a massive dining room table in it, and we had all our lead figures painted that represented us, and the games master for that was Stian Alexander. Wow, there's a name from the past. And he was an amazing games master. I think when you've got someone that can facilitate the adventure and, you know, keep control on a level based thing, using the monster templates, you have to use them as they are. You don't have to, but it's better if you do, but have the flexibility around the characters a little bit more, which is good. Make it challenging, but make them successful. And if they do something really stupid, you have to punish them, you know, but that's how it goes. But I enjoy RPGs. I enjoy World of Warcraft. I used to roleplay in World of Warcraft all the time, and I would love to see if any of the members played Warcraft. I would love to set up a guild in a roleplay guild in World of Warcraft again. I've got 3 actually, so we could use one of those ones. I'm sure Barry's got guilds as well, and has got access to guilds that roleplay on the server that we play on. And yeah, it would be good fun to do that. It would be great fun. And let's have a look. My boyfriend's dad was a priest, and he kind of learned how to perform to a crowd because of him. And he was a creative writer and a librarian. He's our DM, and he's fantastic. That's amazing. Yeah, I think that people that enjoy a little bit of the performance aspect of life make exceptionally good DMs, but they have to have that ability to understand how the story goes, which is good. Barry does. Yes, Barry does what? Barry does a lot of things, most of them questionable, especially his jokes. I'm only joking, your jokes are brilliant, my good sir. They keep us entertained all the time. All the time. Right, it is 24 minutes past 7. Thank you for all hanging out with me this morning. Everything seems to be healthy across the board for the stream, and I'm feeling a little bit of heat coming off the fan that sits above the processor, but that's perfectly understandable, because it just has heat anyway. I am going to head off, and I'm going to tidy up the house. Gaming tonight. It's supposed to be Covid Chronicles tonight. What I have, because my cameras are all set up here and not through the laptop anymore, it's kind of difficult for me to sit on the sofa, which is just over there, and have it set up to stream with a camera on and play Slenderman. I have downloaded Alien Isolation onto the computer, but I'm conscious that streaming that might sort of make the processor cry a little bit. But World of Warcraft, Barry. Yes, Barry plays World of Warcraft. Indeed. Do you play World of Warcraft, Nyla? Do you? I'm just wondering, because if anybody else does, I know that Shady Bits plays World of Warcraft, and I would be willing, to come on, like maybe once a week and do a community guild type thing. We can all be in Discord chatting for it, and that can be the out of character chat about it all, and then we can do in character chat in the game and stuff. But yeah, no, I would like to do, because that's one of the main reasons since I got this tech set up that I've not really streamed on the Xbox. And I would also I think I'm going to change it from Mixer to Twitch for streaming the game side of stuff. But I would also like to give it a shot with Alien Resurrection. So there's a lot of stress testing and checking things out for it all. But I really wanted to finish Slenderman, which I still might do. I still have to kind of do that. But that's just the way that it has to be for now. Okay, so Skyrim, Fallout 4 and Skyrim. They're great games. I know Mixer no longer exists. That's one of the reasons I want to go to Twitch for gaming. Which is good. I'm actually thinking about doing a couple of these sort of live streams in Twitch as well. I tried it before, but I didn't like it. But it's beginning to grow on me, in a very positive way. I'm just waiting for Barry to turn around and say I should go and see the doctor or something if something's grown on me, But yeah, no, there you go. Okay, so we will come back on tonight. I'm going to switch the laptop off, do the housework, reset everything, get ready for the kids, get them back to their mums, and then we'll come back and we will switch on the computer for an hour. We will set a timer for an hour and make sure that it's all working properly again, and it's not going to blow up on me. So we have had the computer on now for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and everything seems to have gone okay. So I think we'll try and limit it to being round about that sort of amount of time, so we don't overheat the processor, and make sure it's okay. But thank you very much for joining us today. What does it say? Mom and I sent my friend Alan Alien Isolation, and she sat there at the end crying. He loved it. I can't wait to play it. I've deliberately not watched anything about it. I just need to go in and figure out the game controls on a computer compared to a wee sticky thing. You're going to go make something to eat. I'm going to go and I've still got barbecue food that I can use, which will be great. Can't wait for that. Right, let's have a look. Stream health. Yes, wow, the stream is healthy. That is amazing. Good. Right, okay, we're off ski, and yes indeed, we will be back again tonight for more waffling around and talking nonsense, and yeah, I hope to see you all later tonight. Okay, speak soon.